Hello and welcome back to Newsroom Nigeria. This is where we give you hot, fresh, and sizzling news all day long. If this is your first time here, you have not subscribed to this channel, what are you doing? Please go ahead and subscribe. Also, leave your opinions in the comment section below. Don't forget to give this video a massive thumbs up. That way, we encourage to put out more reliable and authentic news. Without further ado, let's delve right into the details of today's news. 31 years after, the United States government has finally withdrawn the narcotic case against Nigerian politician, the late Buruji Kashamu, according to legal documents cited by People's Gazette. The decision came 5 years after Mr. Kashamu'S death was linked to coronavirus in 2020. He was among prominent Nigerians claimed by the deadly pandemic. The Gazette learned that the decision to withdraw the charges against the late Mr. Kashamu was made after the United States government was finally able to confirm the former senator's 2020 death through DNA evidence. Following the confirmation, the government subsequently filed a motion to dismiss the case against Mr. Kashamu and was granted by Judge Alonso of the U.S. District Court Northern District of Illinois, Eastern Division, on April 18, since it's impossible to continue the prosecution of a dead person. The famous case inspired the popular Netflix series Orange is the New Black. Charges were first filed against the late Mr. Kashamu on March 17, 1994, after the U.S. government accused him of leading an international drug ring that recruited Americans to transport drugs across international borders. Shortly after the indictment, the late politician was arrested in the United Kingdom, with the U.S. government immediately seeking his extradition. However, they lost the case after a judge ruled that the American authorities failed to prove that the politician was a right suspect. The late politician maintained that he was innocent and accused the U.S. government of racism, claiming his legal battle was a case of mistaken identity, as his brother was the person American authorities were looking for, a claim the UK judge deemed sufficient to release him. In 2009, Mr. Kashamu fled the UK and returned to Nigeria, where he immediately started his political movement before eventually joining the then-ruling People's Democratic Party. He successfully ran for election in Ogun State in 2015 and was elected to the National Assembly as Senator representing Ogun East Senatorial District, a position he held until April 2019. Weeks after his election, the U.S. government attempted to extradite him from Nigeria when the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, in coordination with American enforcement agencies, invaded his home for his arrest. However, Mr. Kashamu secured himself inside a house, with a siege lasting several days before his lawyer was finally able to obtain a court order for NDLEA officials to vacate his compound. Meanwhile, Mr. Kashamu maintained his innocence until his demise and launched several unsuccessful attempts to squash the case. He remained in Nigeria and never traveled to the US or the UK until his death in 2020, despite several court orders directing him to submit himself to American authorities. The matter remained until April 18, when Alonso granted the order to dismiss the case following a request from the government, bringing the criminal case to a close after more than 3 decades. It's unclear whether or not the U.S. government will seize Mr. Kashamu'S assets, which include investment in gambling business and real estate, through the ownership of a Best Western hotel located in Victoria Island, Lagos. Let's have your total opinions in the comment section. One thing I want us to note is the fact that this same man who was accused of drug trafficking in the United States ended up, fleeing the UK, back to Nigeria, and he ran for office and won. That is one thing I want us to take away from all of this. I think that, should I say, the moral compass of people is skewed, because I don't get how somebody who was, I get the fact that, somebody that is being accused is not guilty until, court has declared him guilty. I understand all of that. But I mean, if somebody has a questionable character, or if somebody has a case in court, I do not think that they should be allowed to run for office in Nigeria. You guys know what happened with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu leading up to, the 2023 election, how, he was accused of, leading a drug ring in the United States of America, for which he ended up forfeiting $450,000 to, back then, years ago. And till now, that case has not been resolved. I can mention 6 governors who have been indicted or who have been accused of one thing or the other. But despite that, they ran for office and they did what? They won. I just think that, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. If criminals can run for office in Nigeria and win, it means that there's something fundamentally wrong. That is, in our institution, in our moral compass as individuals, there's something wrong. Something is definitely wrong. Something is definitely fundamentally wrong, because it means that we do not value morals. We do not value right things over wrong. Nigerians do not care where you're getting your money from. People do not care. People do not want to question the fact that, you're working as a cleaner, earning about 50,000 naira per month, and you are seen driving a Range Rover. Nobody wants to question that. They would not think twice. As long as you're able to, give them handouts. That is the mentality in Nigeria. My brothers, my sister, it's sad. It's sad, but it's the truth. People do not care. People do not mind. As long as you're able to give them handouts. As long as you're able to, give them money. People do not mind. People do not question the fact that you're a politician. You are earning about maybe 500,000 naira or 1 million naira a month. And you can build mansions. You're building houses for people, buying cars for people, doing more than what a normal person should be able to do with 500K or 1 million naira. People would not question that, as long as you are able to give them money. And I think that our standards as society has gotten worse over the years. And I feel like something needs to be done about it. Like, there needs to be a reawakening. And not until then are we going to get the good leader, the right leader that, we are looking for. I know that it's very easy to clamor that we want the right person. But are we willing to do the right thing? Are we willing to do the right thing to get the right leader that we actually want? Are we willing not to sell our votes? Are we willing to put aside ethnicity, to put aside religion when it comes to voting for the right leader? Those are questions that needs to be answered. Let's have your total opinions in the comment section. Before we go, guys, let's take a look at some of the reactions we got online. Nathan Harrison says, it's unfortunate that he died. To make money is not easy. Olayinka says, there are still many Kashamu among the Nigerian politicians, just like a council chairman in Anambra who was caught doing fraud in America early this year. Michael says, let me challenge Tinubu's slay loyalist to challenge Tinubu to tell Nigerians his registered businesses' names with the CAC. Eze Wilson says, Yorubas with ritual and drugs is 5 and 6. You see, I don't think that there is anything that people can just analyze without bringing in ethnicity. I don't understand, because the Yorubas can also say that Igbos are into rituals and all of that. Anambra government have banned activities of traditionalists, because Soludo feels like they encourage bad behavior, that the ones that are encouraging kidnappers and, ritualists are kidnapping people. So what about that? Anyway, moving on. They have succeeded in voting a drug baron as president. My Yoruba people, I salute her. Lee Dan says, politics is their dumping ground. None of them is off the hook. They are all criminals that go to the US. I don't blame them. Money matter isn't a joke. But drug barons leading us in Nigeria is my concern. Let's have your total opinions in the comment section. Thank you very much for always listening and watching, guys. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye for now.